All right, thank you guys for joining us. I am here with DLR of Legion. How you doing tonight?
Doing good in yourself.
Pretty good, pretty good. I've met a couple of
Good.
other players so far. Yeah, it's been very interesting to get to know the captains a bit more intimately. That way it's not just looking at pixels on a screen. I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with something pretty easy here, and you can of course generalize this. You don't have to dox yourself, but where
Yeah.
are you from?
I'm okay. Yeah. So I'm from Virginia. However, I spent most of my childhood in Japan, Misawa, Japan, where soccer was
Oh
deeply
wow,
ingrained in the local community. Growing up there shaped both my passion for the sport and my global outlook on it.
wow. Yeah, I was not expecting that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course, and so you're back over this way in the states, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the reason for the move?
Military. My family was military. My dad was stationed over there, so I spent most of, I'm gonna say like throughout, I think all of the elementary, I lived over there.
Wow. Did you pick up Japanese by chance?
A little bit. I'm not fluent, but I can have like morning talks here and there.
Awesome, awesome. Were you sad to come to the states or to come back to the states? I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I have a buddy who was in the Navy and was stationed over there for I think like 5 years or so, and I mean he
Mm.
loved it. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. The culture, everything about it, it's amazing. It's something I won't ever forget.
I bet I'm hoping to save up enough and at some point, of course, go over there and experience it myself.
Absolutely.
I really want to
You'll
check out
definitely
the
enjoy it.
yeah, I want to check out those cherry blossom trees when they bloom.
Mm. Yes, yeah, definitely. It's by far, I'll never forget times where I took my bike to school. Cherry blossoms is definitely like the best part of it. I think it comes with its ups and downs. The cherry blossoms obviously being the best part, and the snow, definitely snow and earthquakes,
Oh,
definitely being the other side. But you tend to get used to it at some point.
yeah, it's pretty cool still. Yeah, I would trade the snow and the earthquakes and possible tsunamis to experience some life in Japan for sure.
Yeah.
So, you're with Legion. How long have you guys been
Okay.
together?
Legion. Okay, so in regards of Legion,
Mhm.
Legion is an org. It originated from a completely different game a while ago. Um, they had made it, I think, what, 2024, 2023, somewhere around there. It was for another game. It was named Brawlhalla.
Okay.
A group of friends that had been able to make a lot of connections, and up to now, at least in my opinion, and I could be a little biased as well, but in my opinion, I feel like they are possibly one of the top organizations for the game as of now. They just recently got a gold medal in one of the, I think, South America.
Wow.
But at least with their help and my own ambitions, it's been, I guess, to answer your question in regards to like the team and stuff in Legion, I think it's been a great path. I've been enjoying it. I've been making friends. It's been easy to make connections. It's been amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, you gotta love the way I guess online gaming and competitive gaming can bring two strangers together from different parts of either the country or the world. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
So I guess would you say that you guys play a certain style? I mean, if you guys you have to have a lot of confidence. I'm sure if coming from Brawlhalla and being so good at that game, certainly all that would translate your competitive edge to another game. So I guess what kind of play
Right.
style would you guys I guess have you individually and as a team without giving too much
Okay.
away, of
So
course.
Right, right, right. So I do want to say that I think majority of these guys that I have with me are people that I had the time to venture out outside of Legion as well to find and make bonds with as a team. I think that, or at least I guess individually myself, I play as a forward. I'm always looking for or to make decisive impacts, but I'm also always happy to adapt to support the team's structure and strategy whenever it's necessary. I'm able to move around and whatever is the best for the team. I'm willing to make that sacrifice, and I feel like everyone else on the team as well is capable of doing that. In regards of like I guess play styles and things of that nature, I think that we don't have like an overly aggressive or an overly a passive play style, but I feel like compared to teams that you do see nowadays, we're different. And
Hmm.
I feel like any team would say that, but I like to think that we are different. We are our own kind. And I feel like the only way to prove that and show that to the world is when we do get on that field and when the tournament does come.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, like you said, most teams probably do feel that they are, different, that they are special, but like you also said, it matters when you hit the pitch, to really
Right.
show the world what you can do. And to be honest with how new the game is, I feel like yeah, any team can be special. I haven't had the pleasure of seeing Legion play yet, but I will Friday. And so of course, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I'm waiting to see some really good play, of course, some hype moments.
Absolutely.
I believe in every team and what they say and what they say they can bring. Um, so, like I said, I'm excited to see how you guys do it. So, I guess your style is kind of fluid. Maybe it's a fluid style. Maybe even like reactive. I guess you're playing. You're playing the game. I guess you're following the chords of the music as it's played. Is what it kind of sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's not bad.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so you play as a forward.
Correct.
Awesome. Okay,
Um,
cool. Huh. Go ahead.
mm,
Please. No, you have Mike.
uh,
This is really your interview. I'm just trying to steer it.
right.
You go ahead, man.
You're good, you're good. Nah, I was gonna say that, and I feel like my teammates as well, and whenever they do see this, we've always had this argument about the whole difference between striker and forward, um, and the argument in regards of striker being the one that is based off of positioning and scoring, and then forward being the one that is more so creating and then scoring. However, in their eyes, they kind of just see me as like the midfield father, like
Hmm.
that moves up and down to help everyone out. But at least in my own eyes, I would call myself a forward. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because as we get closer to Friday, of course, I do plan on reaching out to all the captains and getting a final starting five / formation to throw up there. I wanna have I guess something to kind of play off of, if you know what I mean. Like I know
Right.
Voidbound, as they've told me, and I've said in a previous tournament, they play last tournament they played a 2-2. Um, let's see, I have notes. Believe it or not, I have notes. Corona Victoris, who played in the last tournament, played a 1-1-2. So of course, like one center back, one center mid, and they had a left winger and a right winger. You know,
Right.
um, so of course, as we get to that time, I would love a final formation just so we can put that on there and be like, all right, this is what we can kind of expect. I can't wait to
Of
hear
course.
what you guys are running since you play forward and this discussion you guys have about forward versus striker and the fact that you play almost like a center mid with going forward and backward. I'm just interested to see
Right.
what you guys do out there for the formation.
Hmm.
And
I'd be
again,
happy to show you when Friday comes.
oh yes, please. Again, yeah, we'll not spoil any surprises for any of the people you will have to go against. I want them to be
Right. Right.
surprised, of course. Yeah, I want this to all be fair and just I want to see the sparks fly. May the best team win.
Absolutely.
So highlighting, yourself. So now I have you pinned down as, the forward slash almost center mid. Let's say, right? Let's say we took you out of the equation, okay, and we focused on your
Right.
teammates. If you
Mm.
had to pick one of those teammates that deserve, I guess, spotlight or is an up and coming star, who would you select? And you can pick honestly more than just one. I don't want to put you on the spot, have someone think that you're playing quote unquote favorites. But if you had to pick someone though that really just sticks out, I guess, either they're proficient at scoring, they're getting all the stops, your goalkeeper even. I've heard that one probably twice
Yeah.
tonight. But if you had someone that
Yeah.
you really think was like, yeah, you might want to watch this guy come time other than yourself, who would you pick?
Okay. So I would. I mean, I know this is gonna start a lot of arguments too,
No, go
but
ahead.
I'm down for it. I was gonna say that I think that of everyone on my team, I would definitely say my goalkeeper. And yeah, I've met him since I think the first beta, and since then we've just clicked, and it's been super easy, super I don't know, it was just like the synergy was there, and it made it easy to coordinate with people that we hadn't met because we wouldn't play without each other,
Hmm.
and so we were able to jot things down and know things that we feel like were best for us to make this future team that we had seen. And at least in my eyes right now, I'm proud of what we have done. Now, I guess like you had said that I could state multiple people, I would definitely say in second is definitely my striker. He is definitely next next up, and I would say he's got a future ahead of him. I'm very proud of him. I think from this time that I met him, from who he is today, are different people, and I can tell that he wants it more than anyone else. And I think that this tournament is definitely gonna say some things, for the team as well as himself. I think that in our own mindset and mentality, we think that we want to win. There's nothing else other than winning, but winners gain an achievement and losers gain a lesson. So overall, defeat is not going to overcome us. Either way, whether no matter the outcome, we will grow. And that's how Legion sees it. So I'm I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready too. In fact, you're making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up right now. You are shooting lightning through my veins right now. Um,
Yeah.
Before we move on, what are the names of these of the goalkeeper and your striker? Just so I know. I'm because all I see is the
Okay.
players. I don't see like a position near their names.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess to put some names on it, we have uh my keeper. He goes by Sloth. Or we call him Sloth. We also have Polly as our striker. And then we have two others, Mendez and Abassi. And then there's myself, DLR.
Okay, cool. That this way, because again, I like to make notes, and so during the cast, I can always refer to these notes. I This way I know who to really look at. I mean, of course, I'm gonna look at the whole game and every player, but maybe give a little extra special attention to Sloth and to Polly and yourself, and of course the whole team, of course. But this way, I guess I can kind of highlight these players to the viewers. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
I mean, it's definitely going to be exciting. I know that. Does Legion have a favorite map?
Favorite map. Um, I think that my favorite map was, I think it's called the Mountain Map, something like that. I think it offers a beautiful and distinct visuals, and an immersive layout that inspires like very creative gameplay. Like I guess the creativity is that's what I love so much about Rematch compared to other games, that it adds difference. It feels like you can this is gonna sound corny, but I
No.
feel as if when you're playing against someone else, you can kind of see their personality while you play. You know, like
Hmm.
if they're super aggressive, if they're more so laid back, you know, things like that. And I feel like this game, as well as its maps, as well, it's easy to influence that. And I think Mountain Map is definitely one of those that can do that.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Playing football or soccer my whole life, you can certainly tell someone's personality by the way they play. So I totally understand what you mean by that. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, that's a good favorite map. But do you have a least favorite map? And is it the desert?
Least favorite. Nah, I mean, okay. I think I don't have necessarily I guess like a most hated map. I think
Mhm.
they're all creative. I will say that I did have a soft spot for the space stadium,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I guess because I had like at the time that was when I think that was during the time that the game originally came out, so everyone had it, and then they just started to become a little bit overrated, and I started to like it less and less.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too, to a degree, but it's just part of me just thinks it's a little too dark sometimes when like trying to distinguish player jerseys or whatever. I feel like it could do
Yeah,
with a bit
that's
of light.
understandable.
Yeah, a little bit of light might kind of go a long way instead of well, I guess what looks like the Earth getting blown up in the background. Maybe like put the sun somewhere and give it a little bit of light, possibly. But yeah, no, I totally understand that. Yeah, I do like the space map. I like the mountain map. Um, which one? The jungle map. Uh, the underwater one, of course, always looks kind of cool. So I totally
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get that. Is there I guess kind of diverting from the easy conversation. Have you ever had any hard conversations with your players? Any stressful moments during like a scrim or when things just weren't going right? Do you ever feel stressed while playing, or is it always just a good vibe?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess and just to make certain, going forward again, I
Yeah.
am just the captain of the team. I don't fully own the org and everything in regard to that, but at least within my title, leadership does bring pressure. However, I do approach it with accountability and open communication. I am responsible for my mistakes, and I encourage my team to embrace challenges collectively. Our strength, at least in my opinion, is collaboration, working together. Um, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, no, I've had these talks multiple times with teammates where, you know, we possibly lose or there might be some scenario that looks a little crazy, so we end up talking about it and some things can get heated, but overall we are family, you know, and family has their arguments, but we make up and we find a solution together.
Yeah, I feel like in a competitive setting, that's just bound to happen with little tempers flaring here and there, but that's just the passion I think coming out of you. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like that's just something you got to excuse, and being open and honest, I think is always the best route. You don't ever really want to sugarcoat it or anything. Like, you just want to address it, get it out there. The whole team can kind of learn, grow, and move forward with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I understand that whole competitive edge with that. So you said that you guys started, or Legion started with Brawlhalla, but have you
Right.
yourself played any other competitive games?
Yeah, so at least I think when it comes to the competitive scene, I think the first game I ever played that came to the competitive scene was Halo.
Okay.
However,
Heck yeah.
however, I think I guess getting older, I started to move towards more strategical games and games kind of like Brawl as well, like fighters, you know, MOBAs, anything that would make my brain tick. You know, I love games that put me on edge and make me really think before I gain a win. I do play games that, you know, obviously give me like the run and gun ideals as well. You know, any game that I touch, I probably try to take to a competitive level. But I think the games that give more strategy than anything else, I've put a lot of time to more than anything else.
Yeah, no, I admire that. I kind of have the same approach. Any game I touch, I want to be, the best. I want to take it to the top if I can. So
Right.
I totally understand where you're coming at with that one. That makes sense. Which, I mean, that excites me again for this tournament. Uh, I know some of the top teams that are in it that had already played in some of the previous tournaments and had made it to top 16 and everything. But just from the interviews alone that I've conducted today, I mean, I have nothing but the highest hopes that we're going to see some crazy games, some dramatic, flashy action. It's gonna be fun. I'm so excited. I think you guys are all gonna really bring it.
Yeah, 100%. I have the utmost faith in my team.
Yeah, I have faith in every team. I think anyone in here I think could do it. So I mean I can't wait to see what Legion can do. Um, and with that, this interview will be coming to a close. Would you, however, you will have the mic and you can say whatever you like. If you want to say something to your team, say something to your opposition, to your future fans, even. But the time is yours, and it's now. Go ahead.
Okay, so again, I do want to, I guess, introduce myself again. I am DLR. I feel like, and I've always had this state as well because it can be a little confusing sometimes when people see my name. Um, DLR is the initials of my brother. He had unfortunately passed a long time ago. However, during the time that he had passed, he wasn't given a chance to show the world what he was and what he was capable of. So when I play video games or anything for that matter that is competitive, I try to represent him. So I guess for anyone that is listening, when you see this name, just understand I'm bringing my game. I don't mean, I guess, in when it comes to Legion name and stuff like that, we don't believe in rivalries. We don't, that's not really our thing. We prioritize fostering a positive and supportive environment. Um, but I do want to know, let people understand that, I intend on making anyone struggle when they see my name.
Oh, wow. Wow, that definitely hits you in the feels. Uh, man, I'm almost speechless. I guess all I can say is, you have my full support. I cannot wait to watch the DLR name come up on the score sheet during the games. Again, that's man, you have my support, and I'm excited and ready to see what you guys can do as a team.
Absolutely. I thank you for this interview. This was nice. I like this.
Yeah, of course, man. So going forward, after the matches, depending, of course, win or lose, I don't think it matters. From what I was told, we will be doing player interviews after the matches, so we will have another chance to speak again, which I am thrilled. I hope it's on. I hope it's on the back of a win, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, my friend, I'm going to let you go so you can keep preparing for this tournament. And best of luck to you and your team.
Thank you again. You have a good night.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Alrighty.
All right, bye bye.